Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Stewart Middle School. Mr. Wyrick here with my 6th graders. We're talking about CO2 dragsters today. How's everybody doing? Special shout out to our all virtual students. That would be you, Jacob, and you, Sunday, and you, Samantha. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, like I said, CO2 dragsters, we make in 7th and 8th grade, we make these really cool wooden race cars, and you put a CO2 cartridge in the back and you shoot it off, and these things go about 30 miles an hour. And it's really neat because it's something that you've made instead of buying it in a store, or even, like, I love the 3D printer, you know, but it's kind of easy to hit the print button and the 3D printer does all the difficult angles for you. This, you actually have to cut it out from wood yourself, which is kind of cool. I want to show you a video all about that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to check our audio, make sure our audio sounds good. Let's go into Chrome, and I think you're probably going to have to unmute yourself again. We got Jaden on director, and she's checking out the audio right now. We got Addison on camera, and we're going to hear the audio 30 seconds ago in the past. I'm getting the thumbs up, which means no bad glitchy on the audio. That's always what I like to hear. Let's go into OBS Studio now, and we're going to change the scene away from our face cam. This is the face cam. We're going to hit that fade button, and we're going to change the scene into our desktop. So what that means is that the folks at home right now are seeing what Jaden, our director, is doing on her computer. And she's watching Adobe Premiere Pro. Take a look at the screen that you see right now. This is how we edit videos. And this is what our cars look like. That one's Brady's car. That one is Christian's car. Super, super cool. Wow. So at the bottom of your screen, you see all these blue rectangles. Those are our video clips. We have different video clips from the different shots that I made with the camera, and they all go in there together, and that's how we do editing. And this software is called Adobe Premiere Pro, and it's very high quality editing software that people use to produce edited videos. Ooh, cool. Right there you can see AutoCAD. That's a different software program that we use for measuring out the cars. And then we print out our pattern and we glue it onto our block of wood, and then we drill through the block of wood to drill the axles. And you want to do the axles before you do the cutting. Here we are using the scroll saw to do some cutting. Then you can see the top part just comes right off the side of the car like that. Once you got your car cut out, then we sand it. Most of the sanding we do by hand. There's just no way to speed through the process. Once we've got it sanded, then it's time to spray paint it. We've got all kinds of different colors. Cool. So beautiful. I love those cars. Then we race them, and they are fast. We didn't speed up these videos any. That's how fast the cars really are. Let's watch that last shot in slow motion. Vroom, vroom. That's the slow motion shot. That's what it happens when it looks like when cars are doing 30 miles an hour. Not bad. Tell you what, let's go back into, let's do the face cam. Bring the face cam back, and wow. So let's hit the fade button so that we're back on the face cam. Yep, hit that fade button. Cool, we're back on the face cam. All right, I think I can put this down. What I want to do now is we're going to do a little computer test. I'll teach you a little bit about when we do 4K video editing, which is what you just saw with the race cars. When we do 4K video editing, we need a fast computer. You might have seen it kind of stutter a little bit when we were doing our playback right there. I wonder if that's because, our computer is not powerful enough. We have to put more RAM in, or we need, a more powerful video card or something like that. There's a way we can use the task manager on the computer to check those different systems. And we've got enough time to do it, so I think what we might do is switch directors, and I'll show you how to do that. So can you do another fade back to our desktop? Yes. And now let's go into Premiere Pro. Again, that's that purple one over there. Yeah, and we're going to leave it on that. Do you guys want to switch? Because this is your chance. This is your chance if you want to be the director. The camera's not on. The people at home are just watching the screen that Jaden's got up right there. So if you want to come over and sit in the chair, we can do it. Yeah, and we can get a new camera operator. Let's do that too. Good job. And these chairs have the 24-hour spray on them, so it kills the virus for 24 hours, so it's okay to sit back down there. But if you want to do it, Laird, hop on over. You want to come show the people how to run the task manager? Okay, you don't have to. It's not too hard. Matthew's going to jump in on the camera, and the way that you zoom is this ring right here. Okay, tell you what, let's switch it back to the face cam right now. Let's do our fade so that it comes back to the face cam. Excellent, outstanding, nice. It's a good looking shot. Hopefully, is my tie on straight? Is my hair good? You know, one thing when we're running camera that you always want to do is you want to give your talent enough headroom. Headroom is the space that's above somebody's head. You don't want a ton of headroom, because then it's like, why are you looking at the sky? You don't want to be cutting somebody off on their forehead either. You want, and that is just about right, where Matthew's got it is just right. That's about how much headroom you want to give somebody. Cool. All right, well, let's take a look at the task manager on our computer. I have never done this before. This is brand new to me. I don't know what we're going to find out. So this is going to be kind of like a scientific experiment. The way we get to the task manager in Windows is you hit Control-Alt-Delete, Jaden. So find the Control button on your keyboard. Control plus Alt. You're going to hit Alt at the same time and then Delete. All three buttons at the same time. And did it bring up anything on the screen? Try it again. Control-Alt-Delete. Oh, let's see. Maybe it won't let you do it when you're in the middle of a live stream. Nope, there it is. Now, so you hit Control-Alt-Delete at the same time, but tell you what, let's put this on the desktop so that the people at home can see what we're talking about. Hit Escape. Yes. Now, let's hit the fade button so that we're not on the face cam anymore. Yes. So now the folks at home see your screen. Try your Control-Alt-Delete. Let's see what happens. Control-Alt, and hey, you got it. There it is. So the folks at home see this beautiful blue screen. We're going to hit the Task Manager button. This is going to tell us a lot. Task Manager is kind of a thing for IT professionals or just people who really want to get the most power out of their system. Now, this is showing you all the apps that are running right now. Let's take a look at Performance. We're going to click on the Performance tab. Now, it's showing you that here's a graph that's showing you how much our CPU is working right now. The CPU is the central processing unit. It's the brains of the computer. And it's working at about 50 to 75% capacity right now. You see that number fluctuating 50, 60, 70%. So our CPU is kind of working hard. That's like if you're running a race and you're going about 70% as fast as you can go, you're working fairly hard. Our CPU on this computer is a good one, and it's working fairly hard just to be able to do our live stream. I'm curious to see what about our memory. If you click on this next one down, that purple one, let's see how our RAM is doing. We have 16 gigabytes of RAM installed on here, and we're really not taxing our memory very hard. The graph is only about halfway up, isn't it? You know, so we're really not pushing our RAM too hard to do this live stream. Great, that's great news. That means we don't have to buy more RAM. RAM costs money. Cool. Let's do GPU 1. GPU is the graphics processor. That means the graphics card that's built into this computer. How hard is our graphics processor having to work right now? Not too hard. This is really not taxing our graphics card very hard. So here's a little quiz to see if you're understanding what I'm teaching you. Of the three things that we looked at, and I know some of you are far away from the screen, you can't see it very well. Of the three things that we looked at, what's really being forced to work the hardest right now? The CPU, the graphics card, or the RAM? CPU. I heard a couple people say CPU. Yeah, our CPU is, at least it's not 100%. If it was at 100%, you'd hear the fans kick on, that thing would start to get overheated. You know, but that's what's working hard. Let's try to play our video now and see what happens when we try to play a video. So we're going to click over into Premiere, and that's okay that the Task Manager stayed up. That's actually what we want. We want for that Task Manager app to stay up on top. Let's play through that video again with the dragsters. Very good. Now, I'm predicting that we're going to see some of these numbers spike for us. Let's see what's happening to our CPU. Whoa, 100%? Whoa. Our CPU, this is a good computer. We bought this computer a little bit less than a year ago. It's less than a year old, and it's a good computer. It's not a cheap one. Our CPU is maxed out at 100% right now. That's kind of sad to me because anytime you max out your CPU, it's going to be halting. You're going to get halting performance. It's going to be a little bit laggy. So that's a problem. How's our memory doing? If we click on memory, we're okay. We're starting to push it a little, but it's not bad. We're using about 11 out of 16 gigabytes. So if we're using 11 out of 16 gigabytes, we've got how many left over? 5. We got about 5 gigabytes of RAM that we're not using right now. So we've actually purchased the correct amount of RAM for this computer. We don't really need any more RAM. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Let's do the GPUs. Wow, we're using 2 different GPUs right now to play this video. The GPUs are about 30 and 40. Oh, it's fluctuating, isn't it? It's hard to tell because it's fluctuating, but about 30 and 50%. So we're using 2 different graphics processing units. One is built into the CPU, and that's the integrated one. And one is the dedicated graphics card, which is the GeForce GTX card. So we're using about 30 to 50%. Now the video is stopped, our graphs are probably going to go down, aren't they? Now that we've finished playing our video, the CPU is going to recover. That's like after you finish running your race and you're catching your breath, and you're like, whoo, that was a hard marathon I just ran. You know, everything is going to recover. So what we learned is that we wish our CPU was more powerful because that was really getting maxed out. We don't need to buy more RAM for this computer. It's a good thing we have our GPUs, the graphics cards. Tell you what, that's everything I wanted to show you there. Let's bring it back to the face cam and I'll try to explain it. It's kind of technical, it's kind of scientific in detail, but I love looking at graphs. I love looking at performance numbers and trying to figure out what can I do to make my computer faster, or how can I save money? Because both of those things are really important. What do we need? What don't we need? Well, we don't need more than 16 megabytes of RAM, or 16 gigabytes. We're good. We got enough RAM. We do, anytime we're purchasing a computer, we need the best CPU we can get, because playing back videos and doing live streams is pretty taxing on a CPU. So we should not get a cheap CPU, in other words. When we're looking at buying computers, the graphics card does matter, because if you don't have a dedicated graphics card, your CPU can't go more than 100%. It just slows everything down. And the graphics card takes some of the burden of the processing away from the CPU. It's helping it out. It's kind of like if you're running a race and you've got some wind blowing at your back, helping you run your race. That's what a graphics card does. The graphics card eases some of the burden on the CPU, so the CPU doesn't have to work as hard. It's like the wind in a sail blowing that boat across the ocean. Helps you out if you have a graphics card. Cool, sorry, I know it's kind of nerdy, I know, but this is technology class anyway. So I'm getting about ready to wrap this up. And we have a plan in place for a really good outro from Cooper. So before Cooper comes on, what we need to do is turn up his mic. Do you remember how to do that, Jaden? You can mute me, you can get rid of me, you can turn me all the way down, and we're going to bring Cooper up to 3 o'clock, and you're on.
Alright, thanks guys for watching, and please subscribe and like if y'all enjoyed, because once we get to 100, we're going to have a party, and today's the last day, so we probably won't get to have the party, but if y'all do it, then another class will get to do it, and I hope they get it. So